Once again, here's another article that I thought was worthy of bringing to you guys. I appreciate the RTD community member that forwarded this to me. And so, once again, as always, whenever it's time to exit, whenever people smell trouble, smell something burning, smell like there's something that doesn't line up or add up, they look to withdraw their funds. And this is what's happening over in the UK. So this is an article that came out as of yesterday, it looks like. And so it's from BBC News, so it's over in the UK area. But as you guys have noticed over the last several months now, I've talked about a particular fund, Neil Woodford, who had to end up closing down his equity fund, or hedge fund rather, last spring time frame. And then the people got wind of it. And of course, as soon as they got wind of the fact that there was some issues with basically the company not being able to sell off some of the assets in a timely manner, they decided to just pull some of their funds, and that run upon those accounts led to them having to close or suspend withdrawals. And then eventually panic ensued throughout various sections of those companies or whatnot. And it led to them closing down completely. And therefore, that's where millions of people right now are probably still trapped in, not able to get their funds from that particular situation. So here we have something different. Investors rush to pull millions from UK property funds. And so it's one of the things where when it's time to exit, how fast and timely will you be able to exit based upon the fact that a lot of the products and the services they've packaged together these days have become more riskier and less mobile, to where they're not easy to move or sell off in a timely manner. And so it says here, investors rush to pull millions from UK property funds. Investors shaken by the suspension of withdrawals from a leading UK property fund pulled nearly £100 million from similar investments in the subsequent 2 days. It says M&G froze withdrawals from its property portfolio fund on Wednesday, so as of last week, after it was unable to sell assets fast enough to meet investors' demands for money. Said it prompted the biggest day of outflows from the other UK property funds of the year on Thursday. And so once again, one company, it looks like M&G, froze withdrawals, causing somewhat of a concern for investors. And so it said it prompted the biggest day of outflows from other UK property funds. So all it took was one fund to have a moment of uncertainty amongst their clients, and it led to a trickle-down effect and other property funds. It says the flight continued on Friday. Investors' response was described as, quote, understandable, but those whose money remains in these funds were reminded that property should always be considered as a long-term investment. And so one of the things where when it comes to moving a house or your allocation into that particular property is one of the things where typically those things won't move within an hour or overnight, depending on the price, I'm sure, and a variety of other things. But it says withdrawals of £61 million on Thursday, £36 million on Friday, revealed by the countersign data, came after a tough year for the sector. M&G blamed its temporary suspension, a decision taken by its official monitor, on, quote, the Brexit-related political uncertainty and difficulties among retail, instead of owning up to the fact that they probably took on more than they could handle for the sake of turning a profit. They didn't realize that the funds they took in, those people were particularly probably chasing higher yields. And it's one of the things where in this current environment, all the things they're typically going to be offering is more risky, given the fact that monetary policy has destroyed your conventional investment model. So there's more information here if you guys are interested. Thought I would just bring this to your attention. And so as you can see, if this is happening in the UK, all it took was one fund to freeze or withhold withdrawals, and it led to a trickle-down effect of other property funds having the same issues. So take that same model and reverse that and put it into something more realistic, such as a hedge fund, with retirement accounts or whatever it might be. When it's time to exit because of trouble in one particular thing, I wouldn't be surprised if there's other people that get wind of it and also try to follow suit. But as you can see, there's only one door and there's millions of people that usually try to exit out. And what happens when too many people rush towards the door? It runs the risk of causing some type of ripple effect, which could definitely be problematic for that particular company, all those companies related to it, and then also eventually reach on a national level in that particular country. So once again, thought I would just share this real quick. Leave the comments down below. And so it's just more of a testament that if you think you own something, you can't get to it when you need it most. You got to question, do you really own it? And is the risk worth it and parking funds in something that more than likely may not be able to be liquefied in a timely manner, therefore causing a longer period of time, if not, the complete loss of your capital that's placed into that thing. So curious to find out what you think. And of course, as always, there's more stories beyond this one. This is just something that was sent my direction. So definitely, if you guys come across articles like this, pass it on and I'll definitely report it to the community so people can stay up to date on what's going on. And as always, if you guys have not, RTD 5-ounce coin still available. I would encourage you guys, take advantage of this opportunity to get something physical. And on top of that, the unique nature of a hand-poured round, which once again, you won't be able to find too many of those of this nature at your local coin dealer, especially the RTD round. Other than that, hope all is well. Look forward to bringing you guys more news later on today. Thanks.